Come on, you know the moment. That glorious, almost slow-motion stretch of melted cheese connecting a pizza slice to the rest of the pie. It is, without a doubt, one of the most satisfying sights in the entire food world. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder what's going on there? Okay, let's get right into it. Why do some cheeses create that iconic, stringy, gooey pull while others just don't? They turn into a crumbly mess or, even worse, an oily puddle. Well, the answer is pure food science, and that's exactly what we're going to break down. It all starts with the classics we know and absolutely love. Just picture that perfect slice of pizza. Or, digging your fork into a rich, bubbly, cheesy lasagna. And of course, the ultimate test of stretchiness, pulling apart a perfectly fried mozzarella stick. That amazing stretch is the goal, and believe it or not, science is how we get there. To really understand this stretch, we have to go microscopic. We need to look inside what scientists call the cheese matrix. So, what in the world is a cheese matrix? Well, at a microscopic level, cheese isn't just a solid thing. Think of it more like an intricate web, a kind of scaffold built from proteins called casein. And this protein net is what holds all the good stuff, the fat, the water, all that flavor. This structure is the secret to everything that happens when you start to heat it up. So what's the play-by-play when you apply heat? First, the fat that's trapped inside the cheese softens up, which lets that whole protein network kind of relax its grip. But, and this is the magic part, the proteins don't just fall apart, they actually unravel and then link up with each other, forming these long, super stretchy chains. That right there, that is the cheese pull in action.
And if we're going to talk about cheese pulls, we have to talk about the undisputed champion of the world, mozzarella. There's a very, very specific reason it performs so incredibly well.
The secret is a unique process called pasta filata, which is Italian for spun paste. What cheesemakers do is they heat the curd and then they knead and stretch it, almost like they're making taffy. This motion forces all those casein protein fibers to line up in these perfect parallel rows. So they're basically pre-aligned, just waiting for a little heat to unleash that perfect stretch. And that's why mozzarella is the absolute king of pizza and lasagna. Its protein structure isn't just good for stretching, it's literally engineered for it. But it's not just about the type of cheese you pick. There are several other factors that determine whether you're going to get a satisfying pull or, a disappointing flop. So let's look at the key variables for creating that perfect melt. There are really 5 key things at play here. Moisture is absolutely crucial because it helps all those proteins flow. Age really matters. Younger cheeses have stronger protein networks that haven't broken down yet. The acidity, or the pH level, needs to be right in that sweet spot to help the proteins melt, without getting all clumpy. And of course, the right amount of fat and the perfect temperature are essential for a smooth, even stretch. This gives us a really practical guide. On one side, you have your stretching all-stars, like mozzarella and provolone. On the other side, you have cheeses like Parmesan, which is just too dry and aged, or feta and paneer, whose protein structures just don't unravel in that same way. They might get soft, sure, but they're not going to pull. And whatever you do, don't forget temperature. This range is the sweet spot. If you go too low, it's just not going to melt properly, but if you go too high, the protein chains will tighten up and squeeze out all the fat, leaving you with a greasy, chewy mess. Nobody wants that. All right, so now that we get the science, how can we use it? Let's turn our kitchen into a little lab and engineer the perfect cheese melt. So you want to engineer the perfect melt at home? Here's how you do it. First, always pick younger, high-moisture cheeses. Second, shred your own. I'm serious, those pre-shredded bags have powders in them that prevent a good melt. The ultimate cheat code? Just mix in some mozzarella to any blend you're using. And finally, always melt it low and slow. For some extra insurance, a tiny pinch of cornstarch can help keep everything super smooth. And here is a perfect example of how to put it all together. This blend gives you the ultimate combination. You've got 70% mozzarella for that world-class stretch, 20% provolone for a little extra flavor and pull, and then 10% cheddar for that sharp, rich taste. It is the best of all worlds. So, we've seen how cheese melts, but the science actually works both ways. Let's bring this all together with one final example. Here's a final little thought experiment that proves the science. Why is the cheese on cold, leftover pizza so tough and kind of rubbery? It's simply the melting process in reverse.
As the cheese cools down, those long, stretchy casein protein chains tighten right back up into their rigid network, and all that liquid fat solidifies. The magic is gone. Until you reheat it, of course.
So the next time you see that beautiful, stringy cheese pull, you'll know exactly what's happening. It's not just delicious food. It's a perfect little chemistry experiment with heat, fat, and protein all working together in harmony. It really is science in motion.